not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And I'm going to clarify my position on my last monumental video. And a lot of people got it misconstrued. You know, and this goes back to what I've been saying about people unable to properly process information. Are you pro-black or are you pro-ghetto? And in that video, I scrutinized the whole roast arena, roastorama, or whatever. And a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they felt a certain kind of way. But this is what happened when you react sheerly off your emotion. And as Nelly Fuller stated, it's nothing wrong with reacting off your emotion as long as your emotions lead to logic. And the concept of the video went over a lot of people's heads. And a lot of people offended because I dared challenge, you know what I'm saying, the merit behind these roast videos. And I'm not trying to change this corner of YouTube. I understand roast videos are there just to generate drama. It's not about people having legitimate beef with one another. You know, in real life, if you have your qualms with somebody, you ain't gonna drag it on for years and years. Usually you're just gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna stay away from this person, or I'm gonna make some sort of arrangement. Like, let's say you work with him, he doesn't say nothing to me, I don't say nothing to him, no problems. But on YouTube, and that's why I said these roast videos are disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? They're phony. You know, these people really don't hate each other and things of that nature. And then when we look at the concept of roasting, I understand that there's a place for it in society. But you know, when you're dealing with roast, let's say you know what I'm saying, when celebrities roast each other, like a celebrity roast, you know, and so forth. Notice how they just say sort of these light-hearted jokes, you know, and so forth. You know, and they're kind of clever and witty. Here on this corner of YouTube, roast equals beef. That when somebody roasts you, it's just to assume that, hey, you got problems with this person, you're beef. This person has now become some sort of your YouTube enemy. It's not something lighthearted and you can laugh at it, or people can make fun of themselves. You know what I mean? They take their whole roast persona so serious, like a fucking gangster rapper. You know what I mean? And let's take the concept of roast. Let's look at the late Robin Harris. And remember that comedian, the comedian who created Bebe's Kids? He'll come out on stage and he'll roast the audience. You know, crack on them. You know, and then he'll go into his comedy routine where sometimes he'll talk about how ugly his own wife is. You get what I'm saying? The whole roasting part and cracking jokes on just people, that was just a small portion of his stand-up routine. But then he can crack jokes on himself and talk about his ugly wife. You know, you see what I mean? And so roasting here is just like a rapper making a gangster rap, trying to prove that how hard he is. You know what I mean? He can't poke fun at himself because, you know what I'm saying, he wants to put this image that he's like this great individual with no flaws, with no shortcomings and things of that nature, that's able to get pussy, that's able to beat people down. You come across as someone that is so witty, so sly, so intelligent. You know what I'm saying? So they put this like this fake persona they carry around with them and so forth. Now going into my gangster rap analogy, here's a good one. Now first of all, before I jump ahead of myself, you know, my videos come, I have to memorize them. I don't write nothing down like Jay-Z. See, in this, to validate this corner's existence, it's this whole pro-blacks versus coons. That's how this corner of YouTube came formed. You know what I'm saying? Where we're going to go after the coons. We're going to go after Tommy Sotomayor, Painless Risen, and things of that nature. So therefore, you have that element there. But then when someone just look at things for what they are, I'm like, man, these are just people with just juvenile insults going back and forth. Why do they have even use that whole pro-black moniker about who's a coon and who's a pro-black? It makes no sense. It's just a bunch of people trash talking and creating drama. And that was the premise of my videos, for people to analyze this corner of YouTube for what it is and get rid of that, oh, who's a coon, who's a pro-black. No, it's done. It's a new day, Jack. Like, let's say you have gangster rappers. Let's say you have G-Unit going against Dipset. I know Dipset is defunct, but you know, for the sake of the argument, G-Unit and Dipset is going at each other, and are constantly throwing words like "you're a coon," "you're a fake pro-black," and things of that nature. It wouldn't make no sense, because you'd be like, "Hey man, these are street dudes. You know, what are they doing using the term coon and pro-black in their lexicon?" They're going to use terms like, "I'm a real nigga, you a fake nigga, you a snitch ass nigga," and things of that nature. You know, and that's what this corner of YouTube is. But they have this to justify this corner even existing. You have this pro-black coon angle. You know what I mean? And that people are going to go after the coons because they're talking bad about black people and things of that nature. But when it's not about that, it's simply about, hey man, who can I go after? Who can I make a target? Who can I stir drama with so people will watch my videos? Now, when you go into the concept of roasting, making somebody look stupid, it's like it shouldn't be the whole basis of your platform or whatever. You know, there's certain people, like you take Tim Black. Matter of fact, the most vicious roasters are intelligent people whose platform is dedicated to something else. But every now and then they have to get beside themselves and put their foot in somebody's ass. You know, so I know that someone like Tim Black is vicious. I give The Amazing Atheist. You know, I felt his video against Tommy Sotomayor is probably the best quote, if you can even call it a roast or whatever, quote unquote roast of the year. I think it was last year or whatever. But that's kind of, you know what I'm saying? But with Amazing Atheists and some of these other guys, that's not what their platform is about, something else. But every now and then they gotta, you know what I mean, they have to set somebody straight. You know, but here it's like roast after roast after roast after roast. I'm like, that's all there is. There's nothing else. Nobody wants to really listen to an intellectual video and so forth. So stop it. Just be honest with yourselves and say, hey man, I just want to see some dumb fuck shit. You know, and some of these roasters need to just come out and say, hey, I'm, you know, just like Star, be like, hey, I'm just going to be on some fuck shit and just roast people, because that's what people want. And that's the criteria of my video. Are you pro-black or are you pro-ghetto? When I'm talking about ghetto, I'm not talking about the physical ghetto where people are kind of trapped and struggling and got to pay the bills. But I'm talking about the ghetto of the mind, this ghetto mentality that supposedly we're supposed to try to get away from. But you know what I'm saying? People love stupid shit. People love stupidity. Standing now, and then you guys want to whine and cry about white supremacy. No. And then you guys want to talk about gangster rap, like why do we like this ignorant rap? But yet still you're gravitating to these ignorant type videos. And these roast videos, the ones that dominate this corner, aren't witty. They aren't jocular. You know what I mean? They're just, a dude talking about suck my dick, bitch, fuck you, bitch. They'll have 10 roast videos, and in these videos, they're saying the same goddamn thing they said last video. And I'm saying, man, this is complete mental retardation. There's something wrong here. I'm like, these guys got horrible diction, and then properly analyzing things. These dominant roasters, they're not smart people. I can tell these are they weren't exactly top of their class in high school. I guarantee they probably won't know what the Dewey Decimal System is. They wouldn't even know what is the square root of a number and things of that nature. Simple arithmetic. You know, they've already proved that. So therefore, you have to come to the conclusion, the reason why these guys roast or whatever, because they have nothing else. And that was the concept of my video. It wasn't to go against the concept of roasting. I understand it exists and all sorts of. I understand roasting exists in all these other than the political realms and things of that nature, but I'm talking about this specific corner of YouTube where people take cheap shots and low blows, and it's not because they really have disdain for this person. It's simply because, you know what I mean, they want attention to themselves. You know what I mean, they want the trolls on their side. They want a bunch of likes. They want subscriptions. That's what I'm talking about. You see what I mean? That was, and that when some people got it, but for some people it went over their heads. And these roasts here in this corner, they're childish and juvenile. I'm like, they're disgusting. And I'm like, it's completely just low ball, low class entertainment, you know what I'm saying, for an undeveloped mind. You know, and that's the thing. Now people said, well, roasting it, what about the political debates? Aren't they roast? Don't mix a debate with a roast. They're even though there's similarities, they're two different things. You know what I'm saying? That's like going to a renowned chess player and saying, well, you know, chess is very similar to checkers, you know? No, I can understand. That's like there's similarities between wrestling and UFC, but their differences, you know what I'm saying, will draw a different fan base and so forth. Or they may have some of the same fan base, but there's obviously a difference. You know, somebody can't bring a chair into an octagon and hit their opponent over with it. You know, UFC is supposedly real. You know, wrestling that's kind of like some sort of stage. It's for drama. You know what I mean? It's fake or whatever. Even though they can get brutal and it may acquire some sort of athletic ability, and that's what this roast arena here is. We know that these guys really don't have beef. It's fake, but the thing is, some of these guys here that just roast and roast and roast. Maybe they want to do something else. Maybe they want to do their skits and leave beef alone, but they can't. They fall flat. It's not very well received. So they go back to what they know. They go back to what they know can get them subscribers, can go back to what they know to get them attention, even if they have to say the same thing over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So there's not even going by this corner's standard of roast. What is the criteria? How do you judge a roast? First people, they use reality, then it's, I don't know, it's a complete sloppy mess. You know, and that's the thing. Now, going into my last video, a lot of people was upset because I was defending Dr. Umar Johnson. And in that video, I specifically said that no person is above criticism. But I find in this corner of YouTube that claims to be, I want to be pro-black and against the coons, and you're going against Dr. Umar Johnson because, you know, he has he associates himself with some feminazi or whatever, you know, and you feel that that's a reason to discredit him, but you know, you don't want to sit, but when you know his platform is about financial information, but you say, well, it's about gossip, it's about bossip and all this other shit what's going on here, so therefore he has to be roasted or whatever. But you have a dude named Colin Flaherty. He's an Irish guy who's been waging war on black kids. He's made video after video after video. Well, all he does, his whole channel is about highlighting the dysfunctional behavior of black people. He wrote a book, Don't Make the Black Kids Angry, and so forth. People have not made it. So you can make a video against Dr. Boyce Watkins, but you can't make a video against Colin Flaherty. And you know who he is, because Tommy Sotomayor had him on his platform. That bed wench chick, or whatever her name. So people know, but why hasn't they launched their attack? Imagine if Colin Flaherty was a black man who wrote a book, Don't Make the Black Kids Angry. Imagine that, if he was a black man. You know, and his whole YouTube channel was about just ghetto drama, ghetto stuff, ratchet shit, and just highlighting how stupid black people, how wild they are, how rambunctious they are, how they're involved in all sorts of criminal capers. Imagine if Colin Flaherty was a black guy. Boy, they will be all on him. They will be tearing his ass up. But since he's a white guy, they just, they don't touch it. that was the point of my video, of that you go after Dr. Boyce Watkins, but you don't have shit to say about Colin Flaherty. And this goes into how black people were programmed to automatically attack each other. When they see somebody else that's black, they recognize it as something that shouldn't exist, and they're trying to eliminate it, they're trying to destroy it, they're trying to desecrate it, you know, they're trying to humiliate it, and things of that nature. It's very easy. You know, I'm telling you, a lot of you black people, man, if white people weren't around, you know what I mean, if the white man wasn't here to keep you in order, to tell you what to do, you guys would probably resort to cannibalism. You know, you'd be eating each other and so forth. You know, and that's the thing. So, and then when people bring up, well, the politicians roast. But when we're going into this juvenile hood rat type trifling talk in this corner, you know what I mean? Imagine if a politician said to another one, hey, suck my dick, bitch. You know, his political career will be over. Now, you may say, well, that's sort of what they say is equivalent to what goes on in this corner. No, this corner of YouTube is trash. You know what I mean? It's lowbrow entertainment. I wouldn't even call it that. It's an insult to even call these videos even roast videos. There's something lower than that. You know, you don't even have to have any sort of comedic wit to make a roast video in this corner. You just drop documents, you know, call somebody a fat-faced bitch over and over again. Trust me, people here, I understand people are here, they're not here for enlightenment. You know, I made a video breaking down the mathematics of color. You think people watch that? They would rather watch a video of a grown man calling another grown man a monkey. And then these roasters will even resort to constantly using the same racial brickbat as white people, calling people colored boys and tar babies and crispy and chocolate. I'm like, come on, man. We're supposed to be grown men. But I understand, you know what I'm saying, in white supremacy, we have developed a childlike mind. So it's considered normal for dudes 40 and 50 to dress like children, to act like children, and so forth. And let me address LA. My last video wasn't a shot to LA. You know what I mean? He was part of the group I was talking about, but seeing how he reacted, I'm like, he came out swinging and ended up hitting himself. He tried to, you know what I'm saying, if he's a roaster, he should have just went ahead and went out with guns blazing and just roasted me. But he tried to somewhat have a civil discussion while trying to sneak in jabs or whatever, and it completely fell apart. You know what I mean? It was painful to sit there and watch. Once again, he has to take an L. I literally made a video which I did not mention LA's name. I didn't use code words like bum and Benton Harbor, and I made him react to a point where he made like 3 videos. You know what I'm saying? So I control LA. I can make LA do anything that I want him to do. But that's all I'm going to say. Thanks for watching. Never stop learning.